This week on the JMC Network Newscast. First, it's that time of year again and ACU is back in full sing-song swing. Then the temperature takes a turn for the better. Well, at least in some people's opinion, what students are saying about this drastic weather change. Also a look at the dance team Sanctify's auditions last Saturday. And finally, we're keeping you updated on all of the on-campus construction. Welcome to the JMC Network Newscast. I'm Laura Benson. Well, it is that crazy time of year again, and sing-song practices have begun. Here's an inside look.
We are leaves in the tree, our leaves in the tree, our leaves in the tree, our leaves in the...
My name is Chelsea Imberlin. I'm a senior, and I am the director of Sigma Theta Chi Sing Song this year. A lot goes into it, a lot more than I even knew. I had to start by trying to create a show, a storyline that's going to be interesting for a whole diverse audience of people. We've got all age groups, so you have to hit them all. You have to be really selective about the songs that you pick because you want the younger generations to be interested and you want the older generations to recognize songs. So that was pretty hard because you have to really think about what songs are going to be best. And then you have to try to put it all together, arrange the music. You send it back and forth to your arranger a lot, but you have to, at the end of the day, you just try to make the best show you can.
Well, it looks like students are emerging from their winter hibernation to enjoy this unforeseen weather change. Check it out. Only a few days ago, ACU students could be seen around campus wearing coats, leggings, boots, and jeans. But Wednesday brought a wind of change, and with that came very warm weather with a high of 80 degrees. Students could be seen outside on campus, eating, skating, playing, frisbeeing, picnicking, and even lounging around the hills of campus. While some students welcomed the change in temperature,
I love it.
Others did not take so kindly to it.
I wish it was really cold. I hate it.
However, whether or not you're ready for the heat again, it's coming, so whip out your shades and sunblock, and also your deodorant, please. Well, after they lost one of their advisors, the dance team Sanctify went on a short break last semester. But with a new advisor in place, they held auditions last Saturday. See who made the cut. Take a look.
Our hashtag that we've been doing is New Beginnings, just because we kind of feel like it's a fresh start. We really want to show that that we're dedicated to like using our bodies for God's glory. In order for any group to have an official ACU event, they have to have two sponsors. So we were on campus still last semester, and like we would go and do like random dances and stuff like that, but we couldn't have a show because one of our sponsors, Byron Martin, who was a director of the Office of Multicultural Enrichment, at the end of the summer, like really late summer, he went to go work for another university. And so we were told that at the beginning of the school year, so we couldn't have an official ACU event. And so we were never disbanded, but we couldn't have an event because of that. And then we had our captain, KP. He didn't come back to school, and he was like doing missionary work and just like working with church camps and things like that. And so we found both of those things out towards the beginning of the semester. So we started off with like kind of no captain and missing one of our advisors. And so we weren't disbanded, we just couldn't do an official ACU event. We found advisors. We found, like, we did captains, we did all of that stuff, and so it's like, hey, like, a lot of places, like, a lot of clubs or whatever, sometimes don't always come back from that. We have a couple ideas of where we're going to perform, but we haven't really decided yet.
Good girls, good, straight, massive pieces.
Well, for more with ACU Sports, here's Hannah Little.
Thanks, Laura. The men and women's basketball teams competed against the University of Incarnate Word last Saturday as the men lost 61-77. The women came out with a big 78-54 victory. Here is Savannah Silva with the highlights from Saturday's doubleheader.
Sophomore forward Susie Dimba and freshman guard Alyssa Eccles both had great games against the Cardinals, with Dimba scoring 12 on the night and Eccles with 8. Susie also recorded her 5th double-double of the season. Other notable Wildcats on the night were sophomore guard Alexis Mason, who scored a team high of 17 points. Junior guard Whitney West also had a good game against the Cardinals, scoring 11, helping the Wildcats beat the Cardinals 78-54. The ACU men started off strong against Incarnate Word with big help from junior forward Austin Cook. Cook scored 11 on the night with help from teammate Riley Payne, who had 6 points. Senior guard Ladarian Williams scored 5 on the night, but his pair of free throws helped tie the Wildcats to the Cardinals about halfway through the second half. Senior guard Harrison Hawkins had another big night, scoring 18 points on Incarnate Word. Unfortunately, it wouldn't be enough for the Wildcats. They dropped their 3rd conference game in a row to the Cardinals, with the final being 61-77.
The women's basketball team competed against Angelo State Monday in a makeup game from bad weather over Christmas break. The Wildcats won 70-55, giving the team a 2-game winning streak. The women's team will be on the road this week and look to bring home 2 wins against Houston Baptist University and Lamar University. The men's basketball team dropped its 4th straight game after a 63-80 loss against Sam Houston State on Monday. The Bearcats quickly pulled away and held the lead the entire game. After a 3-0 conference start, the Wildcats are now 9-11 overall and 3-4 in conference play. The men's tennis team suffered multiple losses in its season opener last weekend. The Wildcats competed against Troy and Southern Methodist University, but only brought home 2 wins in singles and 1 in doubles. The men's team will be on the road this weekend in Kentucky, while the women's team plays in its first home tournament of the spring season. I caught up with junior Casey Hermsdorf to hear her reaction in receiving her reward. The Southland Conference named junior Casey Hermsdorf Player of the Week after her outstanding performance in ACU's season opener.
I was just really surprised because I didn't really think much about it, and then I did well at the tournament. And so I was just shocked because I didn't even think about it.
Casey went undefeated at the Indiana Winter Invitational Tournament with a perfect record of 7-0. 2 of her wins came from singles matches against big schools of Marquette and Indiana University. The other 5 came from doubles matches alongside her partner, senior Brittany Reed.
Now we're both better players, and personally we know each other better, and so I really like playing with her. I'm really excited for the season.
Casey will be back in action along with the rest of the team as the Wildcats compete this weekend at the ACU Indoor Invitational in Abilene. That's all for this week's Sportscast. See you next week. Back to you, Laura.
Well, keeping you updated with all the crazy on-campus construction, here's Jamie Swallows.
Several ACU buildings are currently under construction around campus in preparation for ACU's future with vision in action. We got to interview with Kevin Roberts, Vice President of Planning and Operations, about the construction on ACU's campus and its future.
There's a life cycle to any university campus that goes on. We are, unlike a business that is in place for 15 or 20 years, we're in place for centuries. And so over the course of the life of the university, there's always going to be new construction taking place and old buildings being renovated, and we're in one of those seasons now here at ACU. It's really exciting to be a part of that and watch these new facilities come online.
I think revamping the building is a great idea because not only will it give us more resources to work with and more lab space, but it will also be a really attractive thing for even incoming students. I think it's a really great opportunity for us as science students to have new tools and new resources to work with.
The next several decades to come, there are going to be opportunities for our students to take part and live into these new buildings, to enjoy them, from everything from the track and football stadiums to the science facilities. All of that is just going to change the atmosphere here on campus.
It is a lot nicer than the old track. The surface is definitely spongier. I think the administration went through a lot of hard effort to try and get us the quality track that we have.
You know, it's going well. I mean, there are obviously places that we would rather it have gone faster, but all in all, we think it's going very, very well. And again, I'm very excited about the future that this has for our students.
So far, the construction hasn't really disrupted us so much. It kind of has just started, But the only thing that I would really say is that I do have to take a roundabout way to get into Foster right now, so I do have to leave a little earlier.
One of the things we're taking really strong care to do is try to make that as least disruptive as possible. And certainly all of the classes that we would normally offer are still going to be offered. There's nothing that's going to change on that. We're doing everything we can to minimize the noise and the disruption. And there will be some of that, but we're trying everything that we can to make sure that's as minimal as possible.
Well, for more stories and breaking news, go to acuoptimist.com and like our Facebook page, The Optimist, for the fastest way to keep up with all the latest breaking news at ACU. As always, thanks for watching the JMC Network Newscast. I'm Laura Benson. Have a great week, everyone.